Jim, hello. Yes, Captain Clinch, I'll take it, and I'll take the assignment of watching these Indians win tonight. Hi, everybody, live from San Francisco. We'll get to the Cavs in a moment, but we start with the Indians. Hi, everyone. Dave Chudowski live with you from San Francisco as we get set for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. No, we liked the feeling at the very end last year, but we do not like this feeling on the road. Well, like you mentioned earlier in the show, they're bringing out the black jerseys, but then the Warriors counter with curse.
Super Dave Chudowski takes us on a tour of Wrigley Field.
The Indians' locker room is back there. It's so tight that yesterday we had to do interviews on the field because there's so many media members here. This is the walkway to the Indians' dugout, a little bit smaller than Progressive Field. Hi, everyone. Dave Chudowski with you live outside Wrigley Field and hanging with a lot of Cubs fans that are in shock right now and leaving. Cavs lose by 22. Ty Lue said today no lineup changes. He said the big problem last night, transition defense and turnovers. I would agree. There were other problems as well. But if you're looking for a silver lining in his career in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, LeBron James is 1-7. And in all 3 of his championships, he started the series in the finals down 0-1. That's the silver lining. And the Cavs were down 0-1 last year, and they won it all. But here's the big problem, okay? They didn't have Kevin Durant last year, and they have him now, and he's on a mission, and he scored at will last night, some monster dunks, game-high 38 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. This team was already great without him, and now they have him, and LeBron was asked last night what stood out, and he said, KD.
A high-powered offensive talent like that and a great basketball IQ like that, you know, that's what stands out. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts. I mean, it is what it is, and you know, we got to figure out how to, how to combat that. You know, which is going to be a tough challenge for us, but you know, that's what stands out.
Okay, we know the Warriors are the favorite, and I know how you feel because I feel the same way. You're saying, wow, we feel a lot of gloom right now, but then you think, well, they came back last year, but then you go back to the Durant thing I just talked about. But the bottom line is, watching the Cavs last night, they looked like they were in a different league. We haven't seen this much in the 2017 playoffs, just the second stroll back to the locker room after a loss for the Cavs. Different story for these guys. Warriors are the first team in NBA history to start a postseason with a 13-0 record. And let's face it, Dub Nation had been waiting for this since June 19th of last year.
We knew we were coming into a hostile environment. Their crowd, loves their team. Like I mentioned, we've been here before. They know, they're out for blood in this building against any and every team, and we expected it.
But did anyone expect a loss that ugly? 22 points. The Cavs didn't do much right. So sloppy. 20 turnovers.
This is going to be a boxing match. This is going to be punch, counter punch. They played well. They did a really good job of putting us in a position to turn the ball over, and we have to answer.
And a little bit of a scare for Urban Meyer and the Buckeyes, but they are able to get it done. And Urban Meyer now 32-2 as the head coach of the Buckeyes at home. Meyer just excited he's not playing a night game on the road, back at home in the daytime. Fourth quarter, 17-all. Curtis Samuel, a 3-yard touchdown to make it 24-17, Ohio State. Now, I think the Wildcats make a mistake here. They go for a field goal instead of for a touchdown on 4th and goal. It's 24-20, under 2 to play. 3rd and 10, J.T. Barrett, the big 35-yard run, and the Buckeyes go on to win 24-20. They're 7-1 and 4-1 in the Big Ten. Urban, how do you feel about your team right now?
Very proud of them. I love these guys. They're very young, that's fine. That's no more excuses about that. But we're going to continue to get better. Is this team of whatever everybody wants them to be? Probably not yet, but they're working very hard to get to that point.
Hi, everybody. It's always something in Berea, and that something today is Sashi Brown. Jimmy and Dee Haslam decided they needed to make a change after back-to-back 0-12 starts and 1-27 over the past 2 seasons. So Sashi Brown found out this morning, or he may have known last night, who knows, but we all found out this morning that the executive vice president fired. He's had that role since January 3rd, 2016. Haslam released in a statement this morning about the news that he wants to move on to someone with more experience and success in the draft. Now, Sashi stockpiled all these picks, but forgot to do one thing along with Hugh Jackson: stockpile wins. They did not get a quarterback with those picks. He said today in a statement, Sashi did, that he knows his record didn't cut it, but he feels turnaround is coming. he feels a foundation is in place. So we move to Hugh Jackson. That's the interesting thing about this story. Sashi Brown is gone, but it's not a complete blow-up, which Jimmy Haslam usually does and what we're usually used to. Hugh Jackson wins the power struggle. He will remain as the head coach in 2018. And that's even not knowing who the GM or the vice president will be. It's clear Hugh and Sashi no longer on the same page. Hugh has been confident too. I've always been in Berea sitting there thinking, man, this guy is confident, and it's clear why. He did take responsibility today for being 1-27, but he wants someone to come in that understands the vision.
Am I a football traditionalist? Yes, I am. But at the same time, I don't think it's about analytics or football traditionalists or any of that. I think it's about how do we get this organization to be better than what it's been. There's been too much losing that has happened here, and we need to move forward in a different light and chase something that's better and different.
Here's Haslam in a statement. The 2018 draft and offseason is pivotal for our franchise. We need to ensure that we maximize our opportunity for success with our picks, free agency, and building for our roster. Remember, 2 first-round picks next year, 3 in the second round. NFL Network reporting the Browns have been vetting former KC GM John Dorsey for more than a month to take over as top executive personnel. Now, he was with Kansas City from 2013 to 16. He has a strong track record, a lot of success in Kansas City. Now, the New York Giants like him as well, and he would be allowed to pick his own head coach, which, as I just told you, would not be the case here in Cleveland. He's a former football guy, so that would go against analytics now, wouldn't it? Now, back in November, remember, about 12 players of the Browns had a meeting with Jimmy Haslam, and Hugh Jackson was in that meeting, but Sashi Brown was not. In the locker room today, a lot of players surprised because of the timing. Joe Thomas was asked if this firing was a rejection to the rebuilding plan.
I'm not sure what the firing says about the plan, because I guess I don't know. I haven't been involved in the conversations, so it's hard to say that the plan was being rejected because we don't know that for a fact.
We'll have a lot more coming up at 7. Mary Kay Cabot joins me live. Going to be interesting to find out a lot more about this situation with her. I'm Dave Chudowski, live in Berea. Guys, back to you.
Madison Hubble, along with partner Zach Donahue, will go for gold in pairs ice dancing. No question Hubble will be dressed for success thanks to her loving and dedicated mother in Northwest Ohio, a bond mother and daughter have shared since Madison first laced up her skates.
Sylvania, Ohio, the city of trees, and planted here a mother and daughter's bond and love for what they do best.
Maddie and I, we have this thing,
And that thing will be on full display for the world to see in Pyeongchang.
I know it means a lot to her, and, we've had a lot of fun with it.
When Madison Hubble and Zach Donahue compete in pairs ice dancing, Madison will be wearing a dress made by her mom.
I'll probably be nervous.
Susan is a seamstress. She works out of her home, but it's also her true love. And when her daughter was 5, she discovered a way to mix her love with what was soon to be her daughter's life passion.
The only thing Maddie was really engaged in was skating. She loved it. We went to the rink, and sure enough, you could skate at 5. So we signed her up, and she started
what would become quite a journey.
And I made her a little white dress, and it had lace and rhinestones on it, and she was super excited about that.
The first of what would become many. Susan has made all but 2 of Madison's costumes throughout her entire skating career, and doing so while working 2 jobs with 3 kids.
I can't imagine the amount of hours. It's definitely been a big part of my life.
A grandma now, she'll tell you it's been worth it. And over 20 years later, you'll still find the costumes in the Hubble's Sylvania home. Madison feels taking a piece of mom with her on the ice is special, along with all the love from Ohio.
I'm looking forward to kind of going through this journey and finally having a chance to go back to Ohio and see everyone that I know back home and really enjoy some time with the people who have always been in the back. They don't get seen that often, but they're the entire reason that I'm here now.
Madison and her mom hope to spend even more time together, putting that machine to work for bigger things, a dancewear clothing line, adding to that Northwest Ohio bond.
Red Gerard isn't the only athlete from Ohio to cheer for during the Winter Olympics. Madison Hubble was born in Michigan, but her family moved to Sylvania, Ohio, a suburb of Toledo, where this family has called home for years. Mom, Dad, and Madison's brother will all be in Pyeongchang to watch her live her dream, skating in the Olympic Games.
The Olympics are the thing that we all dream about.
It didn't take Madison Hubble long to start her dream.
She bugged us from the time she was 2. I know that she would watch on TV, and we had a wood foyer that was a large wood foyer. And she would watch with her socks on, and then on the commercials we would have to go down together and skate the program. She loved watching pairs and dance.
She's always had this dream of being in that spotlight, of doing that, and not just the dream, but she's really wanted to do the hard work, and it's hard to say no to your child when they kind of come at you like that.
And just like that, her parents had no idea exactly what their life was about to become.
I mean, I didn't know anything about it. And so we went to the rink, and sure enough, you could skate at 5. So we signed her up, and she started.
Started on the road to what 21 years later would lead Madison to the Olympics. But like so many other athletes, this path had twists and turns with a price. Good thing Mom is a seamstress, working at home and able to take it on the road.
I think the hard thing is that there's never a break. They train 12 months a year, year after year. We've been doing this 20 years. It's not like a 5-year window, or like it seems like there's not any end to it. I would be afraid to say what I've spent or what we have spent on skating.
Along with being by Madison's side every step of the way, and of course having her main job at home to make things work financially, Susan worked a second job here at Ventura's in Toledo. Because it wasn't just Madison dancing on ice, her brother Kiefer also skated. In fact, they were partners for 10 years and very successful. U.S. dance titles at the juvenile, intermediate, and junior levels. After falling short of the Olympics in 2010, Kiefer would soon step away.
When Kiefer decided to leave skating with Madison, I cried. I knew that they had reached what they could reach, but I thought the odds of Maddie getting another partner were not very good at 5'8".
But Madison continued her dream.
We weren't friends at all. We were previous competitors.
Each other, it was awful.
And we didn't want to skate together.
But Hubble and Zach Donahue did one lap around the ice, and it was magical. A new partnership formed. They even dated for over 2 years, but broke that off. Their on-ice partnership was more important, better off as friends. Zach is now like family, so important to Madison's success.
We were really close to making the team back in 2014.
Hubble skated injured, and they missed Sochi by a little more than 2 points. After a coaching change and new training facility, they took it to another level, becoming national champions for the first time in January and locking a spot in the Olympic Games. All the hard work paid off. Now the thought of bringing a medal back to Ohio has Dad speechless.
I don't think I can really think about that.
And Mom, now a grandma too, dancing on the Hubble household floor, where 2-year-old Madison started her dream, pretending to skate on it. Madison and Zach begin competition on Monday, February 19th in the short dance, and the dress Madison will be wearing was made by her mother. We'll have more on that a week from today on the Olympic Zone.